day 1 of my devlog. So I'm gonna take all the stuff that I built in the working prototype with all the pieces, and I'm gonna add it to this house that does absolutely nothing, using nothing but that Playmaker cheat sheet thing. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this blank project and copy it to a brand new folder and add it to a GitHub repo. It sounds kind of ridiculous to add another step, but the cool thing about GitHub is you can revert back to a day, and you don't have to keep copying 10 gig folders over and over and over again and then loading those folders to try and find a bug. You can actually like change this door, rotate it, and then go to your GitHub, hit 2 buttons, it'll upload that code, and then like an hour later, that door was a mistake. You go back to GitHub, you push a button, it downsyncs all your code in Unity back to where this was before you made that change. It's really cool.
I understand. Let's get on with it.
So this is the project here. I'm just gonna copy that all over. And I've got this empty Git folder. There's already one test thing in here. So I'm gonna actually create a new folder. Okay, I'm gonna call this Unity Big House A. Let's go and jump over to Unity real quick. I'll show you how easy it is to create that. Actually, I'm gonna copy this name to make sure they all line up. So if you don't know anything about Unity, feel free to YouTube it, but if you want to jump right in, if you do exactly what I do, you'll be up and running with a repository. So it looks something like this. These are all the repos I have for different software, you know, things here, but it's this easy. Once you get your own account, you can make private or public repos. So let's go and do a new, and under my account, I'm just gonna call it this, okay? And I'm gonna make it private so people don't rip off my stuff. I'm not gonna add a README because I know what the project's about. Now the git ignore template, if you copy like your entire Unity folder to a thumb drive and it's 5 gig, 90% of that you can throw in the trash. You don't need it. There's only a handful of files that you need in Unity, more than a handful. But if you put those in, fire up Unity, and all like your assets are missing, whatever, just a couple of those meta files will download all your packages you need on the fly. So you don't need to carry that stuff with you. And luckily, GitIgnore has a Unity profile. And it's gonna create something called a GitIgnore file for us. And it has all the things that you don't need to lug around with you. And in this case, stuff that you don't need to upload to the cloud. So I'm gonna create the repository. Now, there's another step. It's really a handy tool if you're not into coding or programming. For Mac or Windows, there's something called the GitHub desktop app. And I think I have mine loaded right here. And you can download that. I'll put those links, or just, I'll forget to add the links for sure, but just Google GitHub desktop, and it'll give you something like this. And when you launch it, it's gonna ask you to log in with the same credentials. Whoa, what is that? It'll have you log into the same credentials that made your account. So they're linked. So once you log in, if I were to go to, current repository is something I had. I want to clone a repository. I just made it on the website. Excuse me. And should be, there's the Unity Big House thing. So I'm going to downsync it by hitting clone. So make sure it is where I want it. That's the folder, the Git folder I had. And it's going to throw all the code into here. I want to do a clone. There's only one file, that git ignore file. So if we go over here, yay. So we're actually going to copy that project over to here and start running and editing in this location. So git 9, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to copy all this stuff and paste it. And that'll take a second. So skip, almost done. Happy Halloween also. Okay, that is done. Just for kicks. Let's go ahead and do an initial check-in first. Actually, just go and run it just to make sure things work. Okay, that looks okay. I'm just gonna run it. There's nothing really in it. No logic or anything right now, but I did have this head bobbing animation I did for it. Great. Let's go and do our initial code check-in in Git. So this knows there is an absolute shit ton of stuff that did not belong there before, except for that little file. So I'm gonna just type in a summary. Initial code check-in, and I'll commit it to main. And this can actually take a while. So, okay, I'm not gonna lie, that took an hour. So basically all that code, it got put in a committed state. That doesn't mean it's on the cloud. So right now I'm gonna click this button, push to origin, which is the master branch, and it's putting it up in my repo. Okay, that wasn't too long. It was about a 15-minute upload after the multi-hour commit. So this is my project. Choose the current repository. I'm on branch main. You don't have to really worry about that stuff, but you're all set up now. Let's just go and jump in our Unity project. And let's take a peek. So this is basically it. Let's just jam down this hallway real quick and just do something simple. Like I want to just move this burger over here and then rotate the wine so the label's facing out. And we will change our first person controller to start here. So right now it's over there. This is worth looking now. Let's just go ahead and make it look towards those fine groceries. Whoops, don't want to scale it. Perfect. That's where I want. Just like this. The wine, the label's facing out. We haven't done any FSMs or anything. Just a minor change. Let's go and take a look. Let's take a peek at Git. And first I'm going to go ahead and save the project. Control S. If we go back over to Git, it shows all the things that were changed and all the files that were changed. Doesn't look like a whole bunch, and it shows you what it was and what it is now. Not a whole bunch of stuff, but if we work at FSMs, those changes will be reflected here as well. So here I can put in a description, changes, first changes, just cosmetic for testing, and that's it. So I'm going to go and commit these changes to my local repository, not to the cloud, but just to my local Git control. So you can also look back at the history of all the changes that we did. We did the initial commit, and we did first changes. We can actually take these and roll these back, and everything jumps back. So that's how cool this is. It only saves the differential of what we had and what we just changed. So we're just going to go and keep those, and we're going to go and push this up into the cloud to our GitHub account. And you should see, just instantly does it. If we go to our website, and here's our Git Big House A. Right now it doesn't show anything. I'm just going to refresh the browser. And here's all our stuff. Committed an hour ago. If we look into assets, something changed just now. And it shows all the stuff. It just changes one Unity file, blah, 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 blah. And that is really cool. So now we're all set up. I think I'm going to go and leave this here. We're actually going to start doing development, but that might be another video. I just wanted to touch in setting your project up. All right.